Hello there, everyone, and happy weekend, happy Sunday. I'm Allison, and this is my YouTube channel, Green Goddess Plant Seeds and Stitching. So I am sharing my adventures and challenges in both gardening and in crafting and cross stitch and all sorts of things. So today it's another garden chat. So yes, we've been moving plants. I'll be moving more plants out of here today when I'm done. Today I'm planning to be transplanting some of the tomatoes that we started. It's been kind of weird because I had one good batch of tomatoes that came up. They grew really fast. They're a little bit stretched, so need to get them transplanted. And then I had another few trays that hardly anything came up. So some of it was new seed, some of it was a little bit older seed. You know, I'm not sure what the problem is. I mean, even I had some sun golds that I bought the seed brand new this year, just maybe 3-4 weeks ago. I've got one. It was a packet of 10 seeds, and so far only one's come up. So I'm not sure what to make of it. I do know that some tomatoes do take longer than others to come up, but it's been almost 10 days. I know some seeds will come up right away within 5 days. Others can take up to 2 weeks. So, so right now I'm going to be reseeding some of these as best I can. Some of them I don't have any more seed for, like I don't have any more sun gold seed. Sadly, I don't have any more Napa Chardonnay seed either. I think, yeah, nothing came up. I think there's one Napa Rosé that came up. I do have more Napa Rosé. But yeah, I think maybe it's time to just divest of all of my tomato seeds and start with fresh seed for next year, because well, mind you, like I said, some of it was brand new that I bought this year for this year, and it's still not coming up. Anyway, so I am starting with the sorry, it's a Polish tomato, opalka. So it's a paste tomato from Poland, and I am at the point where I am just going to throw whatever seed is left into the container, and if it grows, it grows. We're going to have a ton of tomatoes. And if it doesn't, well, then it's not taking up room in the seed box. It's not just kind of sitting there. So I'm just going to do that with a lot of these. So that's the alpaca. And then I had yellow pear and yellow currant. Now some of this is old seed. And this yellow pear, I'm not sure what year it was from, but it was a free packet of seed from Baker Creek. So I thought, why not throw that in? That's what yellow pear. There's quite a bit of seed in here, so I don't know if I'll throw it all in, but we'll just throw a few more in anyway, just to try and see if something will come up. And you never know, I may end up with a forest of tomatoes. Throwing caution to the wind here and just throwing stuff in. But sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do, right? So that's still seeding that one, sorry. And then was the yellow currant. Where'd the yellow currant go? I'm not organized. Thought I was organized and I'm not. Oh, it must be a different seed box, but we'll continue on. What else have we got here? Napa Rosé, which I've got here. So it's been a busy weekend for us. Yesterday we had two spring markets to go to. So we basically had to split up. So Glenn was with the farmers market, the Meadow Lake Farmers Market. They were having their annual Easter market yesterday, and then somebody else had planned a different spring market at a different location, and that's where I was. So we split up. We had to kind of tag team and split up a bit. The farmers market only ran from 10 to 2:30. And then the other one I was at was originally supposed to go from 10 to 5. That makes for a long day, but most people started packing up at 4 or even before 4 o'clock, because sadly neither one of these markets were very well attended. They were very quiet, very few people came out. I mean, we still sold some stuff, but we didn't do as good as we normally would have. I mean, running 2 markets like that, we should have easily cleared $1,500 in sales, but that didn't happen. I think we barely made half of that with both locations combined. So it was not, I mean, I sold more at my location than Glenn did it with the farmer's market, but it just, yeah. It was not a good day. Not a good day for markets. Apparently there's lots going on. Yesterday, like we had those 2 markets, and apparently the Lions Association had a community garage sale going on somewhere. And then someone else said that, oh, apparently a Dollarama store opened up in town. Apparently yesterday was the grand opening for that. So yeah, any number of reasons. Too many events, not enough events. Maybe people are just not spending their money. I mean, who knows? It could be any number of reasons why we had a poor turnout. Apparently there was a volleyball tournament going on too, I think. So, I mean, who knows? Who knows? So that's some sweet aperitif. I'm hoping those come up. I did save seed last year, so I don't know if the seed just isn't viable. I'd have to hunt down some fresher seed for that. That's all those. What's over here that needs to be done? Oh, here. The sausage tomato didn't really come up, so we'll replant some of those. So I did actually took some plants to the market that I was at. We took some of the pepper plants. Sold 2. You know, I mean, it's still a little bit early for people to be thinking about their gardens, but that said, the weather has warmed up and a lot of the snow is gone from the fields and from the garden. The garden is basically bare now. So, and Glenn was poking around out there, and he seems to think that it's almost dry enough to be out there, to try and get out there. So probably next week or the week after, maybe we'll be lucky. We can start at least planning to do some stuff. I know we want to do some things that we want to experiment with some methods. I know one of the things that we talked about was using the plastic from the plastic grain bags. I don't know how familiar you guys are, but sometimes what farmers will use is these plastic grain bags if they don't have enough bin space. Basically, it's a long tube. You might see them driving down the highway where it's a big long tube, plastic tube, and it's full of grain. So he's got a bunch of that wrapped up because it doesn't recycle well, and some places won't take it for recycling. So what do you do with it? It's a one-shot deal. You can't reuse it. So we thought, well, maybe we'll take some of that. We can cut it into strips, lay it down where we want some stuff to grow, whether it's beans or we're thinking actually beans maybe, and so that because the outside of it is white, the inside of the plastic is black. Well, if we lay it down with the black side up, it'll warm the soil. It'll actually help to warm the soil up, and then maybe we can get our beans in a little earlier because beans don't like cold soil. Same with corn. You know, maybe we can get some other stuff in early, and then and then you know, maybe we'll have an early crop, and maybe the weather will cooperate, and it'll be all good. So what am I working on here? I've got 10 fingers of Naples. We'll see. We'll just throw a whole whack in there. Oh, you know what? Maybe I'll just, I don't know if I want that many, if I want to, we'll just throw it all in. See what comes up. Maybe we'll be surprised if we get something something more coming up than what we bargained for. That's happened too. That's happened too, where something, it doesn't come up. And I keep, one year I did that. I just kept throwing more seed in. Then all of a sudden they all came up. Like I was a little too impatient. So I don't know if that's what's happening here or not. But yeah. So I'm going to continue on with this for a bit, and then I've got a whole whack of transplanting to do, so we'll be back. All right, well, welcome back, everybody. I am moving on to transplanting. So I finished up reseeding tomatoes for what I had seed for. A lot of it, I just threw in whatever I had left for seed for some of the varieties, and we'll see what comes up. But that's it for tomatoes. Like if stuff doesn't come up, that's it for this year. I'm not gonna bother trying to restart because it's gonna get too late and then the plants won't be big enough. So yeah, so we're moving on. We're moving on to the ones that actually did come up. They are spindly and leggy. Unfortunately, I'm not sure why they grew so fast this time. But I've got some multi-packs here that I sold but a week earlier than everything else. I was hoping, we have a market at the end of April, and I was hoping to have some tomato plants that we can take to that specific market. So I've got Bonnie Best, German Pink, Michaelic, and then I've got some Sweet Aperitif, some Napa Chardonnay in here, which I don't know, I might hang on to a couple of those for myself. And some San Marzano. Even the San Marzanos didn't germinate very well. That's surprising. Usually they come up great guns. So, oh well, that's the year it is. It's the way the year is. So I'm going to start with the Bonnie Best, and we'll just get them into these 3-inch pots, and hopefully they will do okay. Yes, I know they're tall and spindly, but tomato stems are usually somewhat flexible, and if you're gentle, you can kind of just maneuver them in there very, very gently, because you don't want to snap the stem, at least I find, and then just firm in that soil around it, and then you're good to go. I'll just try to angle the camera down a bit. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing. Yeah, my camera's not the greatest. It's just my phone. I'm just going to make my hole in there a little bit larger and just gently push that down as deep as I can get it, and then just firm that soil in around. So there we go, just like that. And I got some more here. So, oh, like I was saying, the spring is coming fast with everything drying up. Now that most of the snow is gone from the garden and the field, we're just, I know Glenn's chomping at the bit to get some field work done. I know he wants to get into the garden. There were some corn stalks that got left out there. They should have been cleaned up, but we had somebody in the area who wanted them to feed to their livestock, but they never did come and pick them up or, you know, harvest them. And so we were stuck with these corn stalks in the field all winter. So now we got to clean them up. So that's okay. There we go. So that's the Bonnie Best. Put my tags in there. And I'm ahead of the game with some written tags. Just like that. 6 lovely Bonnie Best. So yes, there's always something. So next up is some German Pink. I have to count out my tags for the German Pink. How many have I got here? It's like 4. All right. So I just need to make up 2 tags. Yeah, so it's gonna get crazy from here on in. One of the other things I wanted to do today, now that we are halfway through April, is I wanted to get at least 1 round of cucumbers started. I'm hoping to do at least 2 plantings. So I'm thinking I'd like to get that first planting started today. You know, and especially if the weather is conducive to planting stuff early. yeah, getting stuff in the ground early as possible. Though we do have to be careful because sometimes the weather can be very changeable. Sometimes we can have nasty weather in May and in June, like rainy, like cold, rainy weather. So, I mean, that's what happened last year, and we ended up losing all of the cucumbers because they just did not survive that cold, wet, rainy weather. So, not too sure what to do, how to make that. All we can do is just, no, hedge our bets and just plan and hopefully and just make some adjustments here and there. And like we're trying to go off what happened last year so we can have a better crop, you know. And we lost most of our beans to cutworms, so you know we need to do something about that. And we like to have some early beans in the ground, but of course beans don't like that cold soil, so hence the idea of using some of the plastic from the grain bags to try and give ourselves an advantage. I mean, most big commercial growers, like the farmers who grow a lot of the sweet corn in Alberta and the Tabor area, they all start theirs under plastic mulch, like clear biodegradable plastic mulch. Well, it's not plastic; it's actually made out of cornstarch, I believe, but it's clear. And they've got machines that will sow the seeds and lay the mulch right on top of it so that it acts like a greenhouse. But because it's biodegradable, it does eventually break down and the plants can grow up. And there's, yeah, and that's how they get their stuff going. That's how they get that early crop of corn, right? So we were thinking we would like to do that, but of course, that kind of machinery, even, you know, the biodegradable mulch itself is all very expensive. So until we get a little more money coming in, it's going to be just a dream. But we have to work with what we got. You know, we have to learn to work with what we got. Okay, so next up is the Michaela. This is one of my personal favorites. Let's see here. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, grab a couple of tags. This one I have to always look at the spelling because I can never remember how to spell it. And there we go. From here on in, it's going to get super crazy busy. Of course, May is seeding time. Glenn will be busy once May hits. He's already busy trying to get equipment ready to go. And then May, you know, you gotta be ready to hit the ground running. So if the weather's right, you know, all the seeding gets done in good order and good timing. There we go. Tag in that one, and in that one. All right. So we are hopeful for the vegetable garden, for the market garden. Like I said, we've been trying to toss around ideas, how to do stuff differently, to sort of give ourselves a little bit of an advantage, you know, in terms of having earlier crops and stuff. So that's where we're at. So I'm going to continue with this for a little while, and we'll catch up with you in a little while. And there we are. All of my tomatoes that were ready and needing to be transplanted are done. And we even have room to spare. So there was some pepper plants here earlier, and I got Glenn to help me lift them out to the car, so they're ready to go. So I'm just tidying things up. But, you know, we still got lots of plants down here. There's still lots of peppers. These peppers here are ready to go to the greenhouse. So the next trip over here, these ones will be packed up. These are some jalapenos in here. What else we got in here? Jalapenos. Oh, there's some sweet peppers. That's a new ace. Nice. So yes, so this is the end of my work day. So thank you for joining me for this garden update. I hope you have a great Sunday and a great week ahead, and we'll be chatting with you again real soon.